You're standing in the aisle. Two brands of the same thing. You've been here 4 minutes. One is $1 more. One has slightly better reviews, you think, though you're already pulling up your phone to check. A small voice says, just pick one. A louder voice says, but what if the other one is better? So you stand there holding two nearly identical boxes, running a full analysis on something you'll have forgotten by Thursday. It's never really about the boxes, you know that. The boxes are just where it shows up today. The word people use for you is indecisive. Can't make up your mind. They say it with a little impatience, the way you'd talk about someone holding up a line. And I'll be honest with you, because gentleness without honesty is just flattery. From the outside, it can look like weakness. The hesitation, the going back and forth, the asking three people what they'd do. But indecisive isn't quite the word, is it? Indecisive suggests you don't care which way it goes. You care enormously, and that's the whole problem. You're not frozen in that aisle because nothing matters to you. You're frozen because, for a moment, that small, dumb choice has come to stand in for every choice, and some part of you has decided that getting it wrong would mean something about you. That's not a person who can't choose. That's a person trying very hard not to fail. So where does that come from? The feeling that a choice is a test you can pass or fail? For a lot of people, it isn't one old wound. It's the water you swim in now. Think about the world you actually make decisions inside of. You can see every option at once, every restaurant rated, every jacket reviewed, every road someone else took laid out on a screen, looking smoother than yours. You can watch what the people who chose differently are doing with their Tuesday night. And almost nothing feels final, which sounds like freedom but works like a tax. If it can be changed, then living with it is on you, and so is the regret. Picture it. The room dark, the phone glow on the ceiling, and you're reading reviews of the thing you already bought. That's not a character flaw. That's a sane response to a world that tells you all day long that a better option existed and you owed it to yourself to find it. Drop someone into a life with 3 choices and clear stakes, and most of this quiets right down. The overthinking isn't a defect in you. It's a normal mind doing its best inside a setup built to never let it rest. And there's a name for the specific shape your mind takes when it does this. In the early 2000s, a psychologist named Barry Schwartz described 2 ways people approach a decision. He called one group satisficers. A satisficer has a bar, good enough, and the moment an option clears it, they choose, they move on, and they don't look back. Then there are maximizers. A maximizer can't just clear the bar. A maximizer needs to know they got the best one, which means before they can rest, they have to be sure no better option exists anywhere. And you can never actually be sure of that. There is always one more review, one more shop, one more opinion. Here's the part that isn't what you'd expect. When Schwartz and his colleagues followed both kinds of people, the maximizers often did make slightly better choices on paper. The marginally better deal, the marginally better salary, and they were less happy with them. More regret, more second guessing, more of that quiet ache about the road not taken. The satisficers with their good enough lives were measurably more content. So chasing the best version of everything doesn't only cost you time, it taxes the very thing the search was supposed to protect, your peace with what you finally chose. I think of it like standing at a fork in a road with a map open in your hands. And the map is good. You're not foolish for reading it. Most of the time it keeps you off the road that washes out in the rain, and that's worth something. The trouble is the kind of road this is. Some roads you can only see by walking them. The map goes blank a quarter mile in because the only way to learn where this one leads is to put your feet on it and go. So you stand at the fork, studying paper that already told you everything it knows, waiting for a certainty it was never going to give. And the light keeps dropping. That's the cost the map hides. Not that you'll take the wrong road, but that you'll stand so long, the choosing gets made for you by the dark while you were still deciding. Some of you already know exactly what this has cost because you can name the thing that closed while you were still weighing it. The apartment rented to someone faster. The conversation you scripted so long the moment to have it passed. The opportunity that didn't wait for you to be sure. The job you talked yourself out of applying for while you researched whether you were qualified. Overthinking feels like caution, like you're protecting yourself. But a decision delayed long enough is still a decision. It just gets made by default, and default rarely chooses in your favor. I want to be fair here because it cuts both ways. The fast deciders you envy aren't all living some freer life. Some are just paying the regret later instead of up front, and some genuinely get burned by the thing they didn't think through. Speed isn't the virtue. But there's a real ordinary tiredness that comes from running every small choice like a final exam. And a lot of you are carrying that tiredness into things that deserve none of it. So let me say the true thing plainly. You are not indecisive. You are someone who cares whether they get it right, and in a world that mostly doesn't care at all, that is not nothing. The same machinery that exhausts you in the aisle is what makes you the person others trust with the decisions that actually matter. The care is real. The care was never the problem. What you've been missing isn't more analysis. It's permission to let good enough be enough on the choices that don't deserve a final exam, to save the full force of that careful mind for the few decisions a year that genuinely earn it. That isn't giving up, and it isn't lowering your standards. It's calm. It's the quiet that arrives when you stop demanding certainty from things that were never going to give it, and start trusting yourself to handle whatever the good enough road turns out to be. You already have what you need to walk it. You've just been standing very still. So here's one small experiment for today, on a choice that genuinely doesn't matter: where to eat, which show, which of two near-identical boxes. Get an actual coin, or open the coin flip on your phone. Assign each option a side. Flip it. And here's the only part that counts. In the half second the coin is in the air, notice what you're quietly hoping it lands on. That flicker is your answer, the one your good enough mind already had before the maximizer drowned it out. You don't even have to obey the coin. You just have to catch the hope. Do it 3 or 4 times today, and you'll feel how often you already knew and were only waiting for proof you were never going to get. And come tell me in the comments about the smallest thing you've ever overthought, the most trivial, embarrassing little choice that somehow ate an hour of your life. Say it where other people can see it, because the person scrolling past you right now is convinced they're the only one who does this in the cereal aisle. They're not. You're not. If you want more of these, the hidden machinery running underneath the ordinary things you do every day, that's what this channel is here for. There's more of it on the way, and I'd be glad to have you for it.